Hello and welcome to the Van Life Pantry YouTube channel. Today we are going to do some fondue. I was talking to somebody recently about travel cooking and travel camping cooking, and she said, I'm a foodie and you should do fondue. And I said, I have never done fondue in my life. I don't have a fondue pot and I will look into that. So I did a little looking, and I like the idea of the dessert fondue better than cheese fondue. And I don't even have anything in these pots yet, and I've already got a yellow jacket interested in my fondue pot. I actually have a yellow jacket trap set up because this area has a lot of yellow jackets. As you know, we are currently house sitting and we have access to a kitchen and fridge. So my question with this experiment was to answer whether this is doable on the road. Can you carry all this stuff? Can you do this in van life? Well, not in minivan life, probably not in SUV life, and I would say definitely not in Prius life. But larger van life and RV life, yeah, you probably can. If you have a compressor fridge and if you have a little bit of space to store all of the equipment, you can probably do it. So where did I get the fondue pots? Well, I actually was in search of a couple of things, but I was in search of a casserole holder that zips closed because I need something to keep all of my utensils in. And the thing that I'm using, which happens to be an IKEA very large Ziploc bag, isn't the ideal thing. And somebody mentioned that they were using a casserole zipper bag. So I went looking, and lo and behold, these two fondue pots jumped out at me, and they were $4 each. So I was inclined to get this one because it was taller and narrower. It's round but narrower than the other, and it would be able to fit almost like a roll pillow size up even on my bed while traveling. The drawbacks were it is ceramic and it has 4 ceramic containers to hold the things, little plates, and so I thought, well, I like this one. Nice metal. I can use this on any other day to make soup. I can use it on any other day to warm water. I can use it for many things and not just for fondue. So I bought them both, and I am really glad I did. This one, turns out, has only one fondue fork with it, and they're color coded. If you have ever had fondue, you know that they're color coded. I've not read anything about fondue. I have always presumed, and I continue to presume, that they are color coded so that each individual person can have theirs and they know whose is whose. I'm not sure that matters because you're double dipping, but you should not double dip. You should take the whole bite-sized thing. That's the entire point too. Bite size, one dip. You know your color, you hold on to your color, you don't double dip. But really, your mouth touches this thing if you're eating directly off your fondue fork. So in essence, you are double dipping. So either solo fondue or only double dip with people that you don't mind double dipping with. So if that's a thing for you, something to know. Anyway, this one only came with one fork because I was at Goodwill, and you never know what you're gonna get. And the thing was taped together so well that I didn't ask them to open it before I made the purchase. So this one was actually the better purchase. Nice metal, sturdy, and it came with 6 forks. And that's gonna be great. So now I am preparing caramel, and I think we're gonna do caramel on this one, and we're gonna do chocolate on this one, and then I have banana, apple, strawberry, grapes, and prosciutto wrapped cheddar cheese sticks, because wouldn't that be good dipped in chocolate or caramel? I think so. So let's see how it works and whether we like it. The thing that I'm going to use in this one, well, maybe in both, is my little backpacker stove sterno tablets, fuel tablets. I talked about these in last week's the week before last, when I had the live guest. We talked about these little tablets, and we talked about what they would be good for, and I think this is it. We're here. The interesting thing about these is each one will burn for 9 minutes. Having never done fondue and not knowing how long it takes for it to get hot and to warm the ingredients, I don't know how many tablets we're going to use, but that's another thing that we are about to find out. So stay tuned. Okay, so now I am ready. I have my caramel in this pot. I'm using Trader Joe's caramel sauce for this event, and I have my chocolate ready to go. This is Natural Grocers brand chocolate bars broken up into bits, and so those are going to go into this pot. But I first need to light my tablets for heat, so let's get started with that. Okay, so as you might be able to see down here, we have our little fire going. It's hard to see from there. And I'm going to pour this chocolate in. And the recipe I looked up said to use a little bit of milk. So I am using Alexander Family Farm 6% milk. And this one has a little bit of vanilla added. And the recipe said to use a little bit of vanilla extract, which I don't have. I don't carry it with me, and so we're going to try just a little bit of this milk. And the 6% milk fat is closer to a half and half, but it's not quite half and half. So that one is going. And now I'm going to start the caramel. So the problem that we ran into is we have a little bit of a breeze here today, and the fuel tablets are a little more difficult to light. Now they're supposed to be easy light because backpackers and carry it along and light it anywhere, but with the breeze we've got going, it has been a little more difficult to get that lit. So we're gonna try that next. Okay, you might be able to see the little bit of fire going under this one. And I'm going to take this lid away from where it was being used as a windbreak and put it on top here. And maybe we can get a warm a little bit faster if the wind doesn't blow out our tablet first. So we will see, and I will keep you posted. Okay, so we got both of them lit. One went out, and it has this little cover on it that helps the flame only go through this small opening, but it kept going out. So we ended up just taking that off, and as you can see down there, you can actually tell the flame. If I wanted to wait 100 years for melting my chocolate, I could have left it the way it was, but we went ahead and are trying it this way, but the flame is a little bit high, and I really can't regulate that. So I used 2 tablets there, and probably 1 would have been good enough, but 2 needed to be there with this lid on. So, of course, as always, it's a work in progress. Okay, that took really just about the length of 1 tablet worth of fuel, so about 10 minutes, and we are ready. This is warm, the chocolate is melted, the caramel is doing well and nice and warm. It was already melted because it was caramel sauce, but it is now warm and ready to go. So one other drawback to this ceramic fondue pot, it has this little lid handle that you can't get a hold of. So what I ended up doing is I have this piece of rubberized pot holder. Well, it's not really a pot holder. I actually use it to open jars, but it's shaped kind of like a pot holder. So I'm using it to lift this lid off because it gives me that grab that I need. And we are ready to go. So what I have is my bowl of grapes. So we're gonna try this. I have never had fondue. And I don't want the orange one. So I'll take blue. This is gonna be the blue one. This one's mine. And we're gonna try a grape in chocolate and see how we like it. I see why people do this. That's very good. My parents were not fondue people. Is your family a fondue family? I think we could dub this Fondue Feast Day, and I could do this all the time. So now it is strawberry time, and we will try that in some chocolate and see how that goes. Isn't anything dipped in chocolate good? Yes, strawberries dipped in chocolate, as we all know, are very good. Next I have apple, and apples can go in chocolate just fine, but let's just be traditional and dip the apple in some caramel and see how that goes. Definitely a good way to go. Apple in caramel. Can never go wrong with that. And then I have a banana. Now, bananas are very soft, although I tried to get the most firm banana that I could that was ripe enough. Is it gonna fall off in the fondue pot? I don't know. Let's see. We'll try it in a little bit of chocolate. And yes, it does fall right off my fork. Can I save it? Yes. Very chocolate covered banana. And here goes that double dipping talk we had earlier. Because I'm eating directly off this fork, I'm touching the fork with my mouth. So whoever shares this fondue with me will also be double dipping, and will have to be okay with me double dipping. Now, the drawbacks are, if you have leftovers, what do you do with them? I don't think you can save leftover melted chocolate. It doesn't re-solidify very well. You could probably put the caramel back into the jar. But when you do this, you need to have more than one person, because you have to make enough to cover the bottom of the pan. Otherwise, your ingredients will just cook to the pan. So when you make enough, you need a group. And I think fondue is kind of all about group sharing. It's all about a slow evening or after dinner gathering where you can all just enjoy slow, bite-sized, wonderful treats. Now, this is a piece of cheese. I did some cheddar cheese cubes, and we're gonna do that with caramel. And of course, very good, because have you ever had cheese with apple pie? It is a thing, and people do that, and it is very good. So, I also did some prosciutto wrapped cheese sticks, because you can have a little bit of savory with your sweet. And I could have cut these into cubes, but holding the prosciutto on, there's a dog barking. I do apologize. There is also someone mowing their lawn, which is really not advised at this time of day in the summer in an area where there's high fire danger. So if you live in a place with high fire danger, don't go mowing your lawn in the evening when there's dry grass in the field next to you and the spark could ignite. So those are the noises you hear in the background, and I do apologize if those are distracting. Anyway, back to this. Prosciutto, I could have cut into cubes, but to hold the prosciutto onto my cheese, I went ahead and just left it in a long cube stick. So we don't really need the fork, we can just dip. And I think I'm gonna go with chocolate. So cheddar cheese, prosciutto, chocolate fondue. That works. As I said, doesn't everything work dipped in chocolate? So lastly, the one that we're going to try is s'mores. I have a bit of gluten-free graham cracker, which I can't put on the fork. but I also have marshmallow. So the marshmallow will go on the fork. I'm going to break it in half because it's a very large marshmallow. Marshmallow on my fork, dipped in the chocolate. And stuck to my graham cracker. So, s'mores fondue. Except you can't get that off the fork without taking the fork and putting it in your mouth. And I really want it to sit on my graham cracker. So, here we go. Big bite. If I could pause, I would do that, but I'm doing this video by myself at the moment, and I don't have a cameraman to pause for me. So, I'll just chew and let you know that that is very good. S'mores work. So, can you do this in van life? Yes and no. I am gonna pause for a moment. I think I have a camera person on their way here, and then we will be back to discuss that. The answer is you can do this in van life. As I mentioned earlier, probably not in some of the smaller vehicles, because you do have to have enough room to carry the equipment, and you do have to have enough refrigeration space for the ingredients, unless of course you are just buying them right then and you're going to do it all at one time, and then you don't need to refrigerate. But carrying these all the time to occasionally make fondue doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense, which is why I said I really prefer this one. I can use this for many more things than just fondue. This pot can come in very handy, and it is small enough to fit in my storage bin as I already pack it. So I will be keeping this for a while. It may be something that I shed along the way. I don't know, we'll see. But if you have enough space and you have the equipment and you have a space available to you to prep, that's a big thing. Prep is going to be a problem if you are in a place where you can't spread out, you can't set up a table, you can't set these up and do the cooking outdoors. As I mentioned earlier, we were in a fire danger area. I mean, this whole region is a fire danger area this time of year, and we have a clear day today, but on recent days it has been so smoky that it looks foggy because of all the fires in the general vicinity. So if you're in a place like that and you don't want to open flame fondue, these actually are intended to use tea light candles. But if you're in a place where you can't use an open flame, they aren't going to work. So, you know, it's going to be time of year, it's going to be whether you have the place to do the prep, to do the setup, and it's much easier with a kitchen to do all of this sous chef prep, but it can be done. And it could probably even be done inside the van if you have a high top regular van with a kitchen space. That would make it a lot easier. So yes, it can be done, but it is a bit of a luxury maybe to be able to do it. And I will leave that up to you. I think it was fun. I do enjoy these challenges. I do enjoy trying new things. And I appreciate that I met someone who challenged me to try this. And the reason I met her was she owns a Gypsy Vardo trailer, and I am looking for a small trailer to pull behind the van and to set in a place stationary to perhaps offer to people for some camping nights. Dare I say glamping? I don't know. I don't even know if that's a word I really want to use, but maybe. Anyway, I was looking at her Vardo, and while hers is probably not going to work for me, we had a great conversation. We really enjoyed each other's company for the short time that I was there, probably at least a half hour, maybe 45 minutes. We chatted about food and food on the road and travel and camping and nomad life and the Vardo wagons, which are always beautiful. And so here we go. I tried fondue. And next time, I don't know, maybe it'll be something else. There is another food that she told me about that I'm going to try soon, and I'm not going to discuss it now or reveal it because I may actually do a video about it when I make it. So thank you for joining me. And you know, I only have, this is my first real video, and as I roll, I'm not going to do much editing, and I don't have intro, I don't have a fancy music, I don't have the fancy intro, but you know, those might come in time. If I wait for them now, you'll never see this video. So I'm not going to wait. I'm going to share the video. And if you like it, and I know it's long because I'm already at, you know, more than 15 minutes. When I add I had to do this in 2 pieces. So when I add the 2 pieces together, we're going to be close to 20 minutes. If you enjoy it and you would like to share, please do share. Help my channel grow. And I appreciate that. Find me on my podcast, Van Life Pantry. I'm on Podbean, Anchor FM. You can find it at Listen Notes. Not yet on Apple Podcast, but if you listen to my podcast, you'll know why that is. And I will remedy that at some point in the near future. So thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again next time. Until then, we'll see you on down the road.